Today we have Space Invaders. This is an introductory session for players who are new novices, who are just learning how to manipulate the ball. Typically what you might find in an introductory session for players looks something like this. You have players lined up, cones spread out several yards apart. They would have a ball and they would learn to manipulate the ball through each of the cones, hoping to develop those basic skills of dribbling. However, with learning, with skill acquisition, we know that there is a slightly better way in keeping things representative. We want to always make sure to have direction, dimension, opposition, difference, and decisions. In Space Invaders, we take advantage of those four components. We have our attacker in red, who is trying to dribble through one of two gates. They are attacking the space, invading the space of the defender in blue, situated here. Now, when we think about how we want to start our players, we want to make sure that we're going to give our attacker some success as well as the defender in blue some opportunity to win the ball. So when we start out at a slightly staggered positioning like this, it gives the attacker a little bit of incentive to move towards one particular goal, but also encourages the defender to have to defend in a very kind of particular way as well. So when we start off, about 3, 2, 1, go, the attacker starts to dribble, the defender starts to defend, and hopefully the attacker gets some opportunity to think about how they can manipulate the ball into space, invading that defender's space, and hopefully dribbling through one of those gates. Conversely, if the defender wins the ball, they also have the opportunity to transition and counter into one of the two goals down here. Now, in terms of setup, both situations require 4 cones for our goals, for our gates. Yes, we can, when building up these gates on the opposition side, you could probably, you'd need a few more. But in terms of setup, very, very easy setup. Maintains our direction, dimension, maintains our opposition, maintains difference. We can change the setup, the start points for both attacker and defender, depending on the player's skill level, depending on the player's aptitude, speed, action capacities. And there's always going to be decisions. Which goal are we going to go to? Are we going to attack the one that's most obvious? Or are we going to try to manipulate the defender and get to a slightly different goal? Lots of ways to adjust the setup for Space Invaders.